Antonio Speaks is using religion to divide black people, and I don't rock with that.
These black Christians are so brainwashed. Anytime a black Christian talk, they're going to say something that is anti-black and white supremacist rule. I need all of my black people to get out of this religious psychosis. Whenever you let a black Christian talk long enough, they're going to sound like a white supremacist. There's no way around that shit. These are the exact same black Christians that believe, we were better off in slavery than in Africa because, we were worshiping trees. This is how they think.
What he's doing is really no different than what these black MAGA conservatives are being called out for, which is using their ideologies to demonize and criticize anybody that doesn't agree with them in the black community.
Most black men are silly like this guy, but the most racist people in America are black people, hands down.
You hear about slavery for 400 years? For 400 years, that sounds like a choice.
He's drawn this line in the sand where if you're black and you're religious, then you're under a psychosis or you need help. And I have a problem with that because it creates division at a time when black people need to be unified. Black people are currently facing more overt racism than we've ever seen in our lifetimes.
The institution of slavery is not inherently evil.
If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
Mr. President, I implore you, call for a civil war and let us do our thing. Let us go door to door, street by street, and clean this country.
White man, fight back! White man, fight back!
One of the messages referred to black people as monkeys and watermelon people.
It is not inherently evil to own another human being.
I just don't think we as people have the luxury to be divided over something like faith right now.
And I'm not telling you to not believe in a higher power, but this white God and this Christian or whatever you want to believe in, bro, the shit sound bullshit, man.
But I'm Jude. Welcome to the channel. Please make sure you like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it. We literally have self-admitted Nazis working at high levels in the federal government, making policies that will negatively affect the black community. But we're here arguing with each other about what God people pray to. This is a distraction. We have way bigger issues to tackle.
In less than a year, the Black Hat Report has documented more than 15,700 attacks on black progress, erasing data, banning books, slashing funding. And the goal is clear: erase the record, distort the evidence, suppress the dissent. Here's what erasure looks like. The Pentagon deleting Jackie Robinson's military page. 591 black books banned in 2025. Entire museum exhibits on black migration and diaspora shut down. This isn't just about the past, it's about erasing the future. Distortion means rewriting truth to warp reality. $9 million cut from sickle cell research. $42 million pulled from black maternal health programs. More than 6,700 federal data sets erased, from health to housing to justice. Even Confederate names restored on U.S. bases. That's not coincidence, that's strategy. And suppression hits closest to home. 306,000 black jobs lost while national employment stayed flat. More than $3.4 billion in grants cut for health, education, and opportunity. Nearly $250 million stripped from HBCUs and scholarships. Whole neighborhoods left without protection from floods, asthma, or poison water. The harm is real. Black workers pushed out. Black mothers and fathers denied healthcare. Children denied their history.
I think understanding and respecting other people's perspectives and beliefs, even if you don't agree with it, is essential to understanding the world, challenging your worldview, and growing as a person. Whether you're agnostic, Buddhist, Muslim, Christian, Catholic, or just a spiritualist, I believe you have something to offer the world. It matters to me that you're a good person more than anything else. As people, especially black people in this current environment, we should be able to talk, share ideas, challenge each other, disagree respectfully, but still grow individually while being unified as people. So when I see Antonio using his platform to demonize black people because they have faith or question their mental stability,
I want you to go find any black Christian, talk to them long enough, and they gonna say some racist shit, and they gonna be black. You know what I'm saying? I was saying most of these people don't really care about racism, bro. These are the exact same black Christians that believe, we were better off in slavery than in Africa because, we were worshiping trees. This is how they think, y'all. This is how they think. I'm so pro-black, bro, but we can't save certain niggas, bro. We really can't.
It's disappointing. He's uploaded 2 different videos about this subject. And in both of those videos, he's purposely cherry-picked the craziest clips that even other Christians will find weird. In the first video, he has some clip about a lady seeing SpongeBob in hell.
I had a dream that I saw SpongeBob in hell taking orders from demons. Like, the demons were telling him what to do on TV, what to put on this, as God is my witness, I am not lying. I have no reason to lie. This would be a stupid lie, okay?
Stop it. Get some help.
And now this woman saying our ancestors are in hell.
That Deontay Kyle, young man, on the Chicken and Grits or Eggs and Grits podcast, he gonna lead y'all straight to the ancestors that are burning in hell right now, demons.
What?
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Both of those clips are insane, but it fits his narrative. Antonio's not trying to have a balanced or honest conversation about faith or why people believe in what they believe. He clearly dislikes religion and has a real disdain for black people that believe in Christ.
Jesus is standing in the way of the power of your gratitude really being fulfilled, right? You are misplacing your gratitude. You give all of the gratitude to the blood of Jesus and his sacrifice, but our ancestors spilled their blood, sacrificed their lives, sacrificed their pride, sacrificed their dignity, and endured not only for our sake, but for the sake of your children. They had us in mind, right? And they don't get any acknowledgement. You don't acknowledge your own blood that was sacrificed. You acknowledge the sacrifice of this man.
We respect and honor our grandparents, our great-grandparents. So really, for most of us, our knowledge of our ancestry doesn't go much further than that. Maybe 3 or 4 generations back. But I do think there's love and reverence for older generations, especially what black people have done for us through civil rights. But if he's saying that we're not honoring every single sacrifice that every generation in our family made, then sure, that's true.
They called on him. He didn't show up.
That's not how faith works. Nobody calls on God expecting an invisible hand or a bright beam of light to show up and rescue you from a situation. When people pray or they call on God, they're asking for strength and courage to navigate a situation. Now, you can argue when somebody calls on God and they find that strength or courage, that it was already internally in them.
He gets all the glory. You should be glorifying your ancestors.
Right.
It's literally your blood. It's in your genetic code. You might wake something up because you'll not only be glorifying yourself, you'll be glorifying the people who are the reason you're here in the first place.
You can have faith to still honor your ancestors. It doesn't have to be one or the other. You can acknowledge your ancestors' sacrifices and what they did for you and still believe in God.
And I think that's one of the issues, the overarching image of Jesus in the Christian religion is of him on the cross, the sacrifice he made, the blood he shed. But what about the blood that our ancestors shed here on this land for us, for this country, inventing in spite of, building cities, operating in the free market? The free market was good until it was a thriving black community, then they interrupted it.
The counterpoint is you can do both. You can still honor and revere your ancestors while believing in God and having faith. But when you start drawing lines in the sand and treating other black people like they're irredeemable or lost because of what they believe, that's a problem. At that point, you're no different than any of these bootlicking black MAGA conservatives that we criticize. They call everyone black that's not a conservative brainwashed, low IQ, or slave.
How I was back then, there was nothing anybody could have told me or shown me to make me break from years and years and years of brainwashing and indoctrination and growing up in a Democratic family, more liberal family, more victim mindset family. That's what's keeping the entire black community down, is that mindset, that perspective, because we still live under that cap, under that box. And there's nothing anybody can tell us, show us, do to us to make us think otherwise.
And Antonio is doing the same thing. He's polarizing people against each other, saying any black person that tries to speak about religion or explain Christianity sounds like a white supremacist.
This religion shit makes y'all say some crap. That's what I'm saying. Anytime a black Christian talk, they're going to say something that is anti-black and white supremacist rooted. Every single time, bro.
I honestly don't care what anyone believes. There are so many enlightened, intelligent, and well-rounded black people that are Muslims, Christians, Rastafarians, some people that believe in the stars and the moon, who are receptive, think critically, and speak thoughtfully without judgment. And just like those Christian clips that Antonio likes to use, you can find crazy clips from anyone of any belief saying something off the wall online. And that's the same with people that don't believe in anything. It's not a religious issue. It's a human issue. And no one should think they're superior to anyone because they don't get on their knees to pray. Malcolm X said bending his knees to pray in prison for the first time was the hardest thing he ever did.
You can grovel and crawl for sin, but not to save your soul.
God knows I want to.
And then I could do it. We are taught that Paul, on the road to Damascus, heard the voice of Christ. He was so smitten by the truth that he fell from his horse. Now, I don't liken myself to Paul, but I do understand. You see, it happened to me.
So in life, two things can be true. You can be religious or spiritual, and you can still honor your ancestors, revere your heritage, and practice faith. It was actually Malcolm's dedication to his faith that made him one of the most intellectual black men and fiercest speaker of his time.
So whatever kind of action program can be devised to get us the things that are ours by right, then I'm for that kind of action no matter what the action is. I don't think when a man is being criminally treated that some criminal has the right to tell that man what tactics to use to get the criminal off his back.
If you've ever read his autobiography, which you should if you haven't, it's impossible to finish that book and not understand the power of faith. How belief can transform, motivate, and elevate a person beyond where they ever thought they could even go with their life. And I doubt Harriet Tubman left any of our ancestors behind because they prayed. Being so judgmental about what other people believe and causing an unnecessary rift in the Black community doesn't help anybody. It's not really about waking anybody up. It's about judgment.
And like I say, I want you to go find any Black Christian, talk to them long enough, and they gonna say some racist shit, and they gonna be Black. You know what I'm saying? I say most of these people don't really care about racism. And it's like these Black Christians are so brainwashed, man. I mean, like, I say this all the time. I have conversations with y'all all the time in the comments. Everything that has freed Black people was from Black people. I don't care if they were Christian. A lot of y'all love to use the argument that during the civil rights movement, MLK and stuff, they were using Christian, you know, they was in the churches and stuff. Who built those churches? Who put the resources in those churches? Who was actually strategizing? Those were the works of Black people, or even just people. God didn't strike down and put a church right there. God didn't strike down and put the resources in there. We had to actually go do that ourselves.
There's a conflict there because our ancestors were people with faith, and that faith got them through everything that they had to endure and fight for to get us to where we are today as a society. Just like you respect ancestors that are naturalists, you have to respect the ancestors that were people of faith that still fought and made advances for Black people. You can't ignore or demean what they believe just because you don't like it now. Seriously, the same type of language they're using, saying Black people are under a psychosis, still slaves or lost, is the same type of language these Black conservatives use when they describe Black Democrats. I said before, I have faith, I believe in God, but I'm not much for religion. There are a lot of things I don't like about churches, especially how greedy and financial everything seems.
This Bentley that I park in the church is not just for me, it's for the church, it's for us.
Can you drive it?
No, God wouldn't want that in Jesus' name.
Hi, Roberta McCoy, giving faith and stand in unity with the vision of perfecting church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
But I'm not gonna demonize anybody that goes to church just because I don't agree with. There are good people there and people that stand up for and make advances for the Black community.
Sing the flags of the United States of America at half-staff, calling this nation to honor and venerate a man who was an unapologetic racist and spent all of his life sowing seeds of division and hate into this land. And hearing people with selective rage who were mad about Charlie Kirk but didn't give a damn about Melissa Hortman and her husband when they were shot down in their home, tell me I ought to have compassion for the death of a man who had no respect for my own life.
Just like you can find in many other religions or no religion at all. So I just don't agree with any Black person using their platform to purposely divide people because of something like faith.
Instead of us praising, you know, God or Jesus, whatever, why not give that same thanks to the ancestors that died to give us rights, you know, going through civil rights, Jim Crow, back to slavery, you know, getting lit. Why not show love to them? But instead, we give all our thanks to Jesus and you know, God. It's like, it's so backwards. And listen, if you are a Christian, this is no shot at you. Like I said, I want you to critical think.
It's funny, you can't say it's no shot at Christians and then take direct shots at Christians. Calling out or talking down on Black people because they believe something you don't believe is unnecessary.
If you actually sit down and think about it, you see how stupid it sounds. And I'm just being 100, bro. You gotta free y'all minds, for real.
We're facing real challenges from an administration that wants to roll back time for us to the 1940s. Racists are crawling out of the woodwork loud and proud. And this economy is beating everybody down, but the Black community is probably going to be hurt the most. I just don't think we as people have the luxury to be divided over something like faith right now. We need to stick together, and that starts with not condemning other Black people because they believe in something different than you. And for Black people with platforms like ours, I think we should be building community, not tearing it down. Shout out to the channel members. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for everybody that watches, likes, comments on my videos, and everyone that subbed to the channel. But thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Also, make sure you check out the next video, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram for behind the scenes and life stuff, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.